Is it coffee time?
Almost. I got it all in the little thing.
See, he grinds it.
Yeah,
and then he puts it in the little
K-cup thing.
K-cup thing. Yeah.
And then I put that in your machine.
Okay. Please hurry.
Yes, ma'am. It's on the way.
It's 79 degrees out there right now, but boy, is it sticky. Could definitely use less sticky. Well, there's Don's new sander.
Yeah, it's brushless, and this is every bit as heavy as the old one. I mean, there's no battery on it yet, and it's pretty heavy. It has an adjustable handle, so you can adjust it, you know, based on how you like it. It's a 3 by 18 inch belt, right? And I've got my big ass battery.
It's got to be a 1 Plus for this piece of equipment, which I guess is the newer batteries.
Yeah, and it does lock. So we'll see.
Ooh, it started to slide off.
Yeah, I gotta adjust the belt.
Okay.
But
yeah, Don bought a couple of spare belts too, plus the belt that came with it is on it now.
yeah, it's like, dude, it does wheelies. The battery is so heavy. Well, they probably intend for you to have like a 4 amp hour battery,
right,
on it. But obviously, the 9 amp hour is the only one I've got that's this new Plus, 18 Plus. So it works with the brushless motor, the battery, and the control circuitry. For the motor, they communicate. There's additional 2 extra pins on this battery. And somehow that increases the battery life, whereas the standard 18 volt battery, it just, you know, runs down as fast as it runs down. It doesn't try to manage the battery, but this, you could say, tries to manage the battery a little bit better. So we'll see how long this thing lasts. I would say a sander is a very hungry tool, because you could literally be sanding for 10-15 minutes. I mean, you could really get out there and get going and sand for a long time. You know, you drill a hole for 20 seconds and then you stop and you drill another hole for...
Right, you could be standing for 30 minutes if you're not careful.
Right, yeah, but with a belt sander is, I think, a very interesting. Also, I would say to some extent even more demanding than like a circular saw. Because a circular saw, you know, you could cut for a couple, 3 minutes. You could, you know, especially if you're ripping a board or something like that, you know, cutting a piece of plywood, you could run for a couple of minutes easily. But a sander, hence they have a locking trigger.
Right.
You could turn it on and run. I mean, you could sand for 10 minutes in a heartbeat. You know. So we'll see.
Well, I see an additional 1 Plus battery in your future at some point.
Well, I think I would say that any battery I buy in the future will be a 1 Plus. That's right, because chances are the Ryobi line is going to go to more and more brushless. The brushless motors right now are a little bit more expensive. They don't put that on the bottom.
Right, it was
$119.
$50 more for the brushless sander.
Right.
But it was 8 amp instead of 6 amp.
That's right. So the motor's a little bit more powerful on this one.
It wasn't an apples and oranges comparison, but it was $69.99 for the 6 amp non-brushless motor and $119.99 for the 8 amp brushless.
Yeah, I would say that this tool is probably not professional type stuff. I mean, you know, a homeowner like me, probably this is plenty of a belt
you just
sander.
need a sander for that occasional project. You're not going to be using it out in the workshop every time we turn around.
I would tell you that belt sander I bought was in one of those packages. You know, I got like a reciprocating saw, a saber saw.
It was a set.
It was a set, and they threw that in there, and or that was part of the set. And I would tell you, I've had that maybe as long as the garage. So we're going back to 2005, and I would tell you I have abused that pour. And what I'm trying to tell you, that electric.
The one that bit the dust.
I abused it and I got my money out. I have no problems. That Durabil or whatever the off-brand name that was, it stood up really well because I mean I abused the crap out of that thing. I never cared because it was so cheap. I could care less what it was, but this one, you know, I've never paid $190. It's probably the single most expensive power Ryobi tool I've bought. I mean, my drills, my DeWalt's were like $99 or something like that. So this is actually more expensive.
Well, my vacuum cleaner.
Right, that's right.
That was more expensive than the sander.
And that's brushless also.
Yeah.
Right. But
yeah.
It didn't come with the fancy battery for the brushless motor. I was a little disappointed in that.
Yeah. Well, now that we've bought it, we can go watch the Workshop Addict guys and see what they had to say about it. I'm sure they've reviewed it. So we're going to drive the van over to Guardian Angel and get the donations out of the back, which is not to say there won't be future donations, but it's time to empty it. It's pretty full. You want to open it up and just show them what all's back here. It's time. I mean, obviously we could store a whole lot more, but it's time. And so they're open for donations right now Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that's because they can't, they were getting too many donations, and normally they accept donations every day that they're open, which is 7 days a week, but right now they're limiting it to 4 days a week, so that they have time to take it inside, because they don't leave any of it outside, and sort it and move it out on the floor and give people time to come get it. And you know, everything's just slowed down a little bit right now, and they were getting overwhelmed. So I get it. I don't know if we'll have a little wait up there or not, but we'll see. We're gonna go drive the van because it hasn't been driven in a while and make the donation. We gave the van just a little bit of love. I got the pollen and the sawdust off. It's just gonna get dirty again right away. I'm actually surprised that the carport doesn't do more to keep the cars that are parked under it clean. But anyway, most of the gunk is off. Well, there is a line. I'd say the 2 cars we can see, and probably 2, maybe 3 more. I've seen it worse on other times, like right around the end of the year. Hopefully it'll move pretty quickly. The pickup truck up there doesn't appear to have so much stuff in the back that it's, you know, I can't even see anything, so I don't think that's a large donation. So I don't think we waited more than 10 minutes. We were a little surprised. We had upwards of 16 Whole Foods paper bags full of donations, plus a box, plus some miscellaneous loose items. So it was a sizable donation. The line was moving smooth. I made sure to thank the guys up there on the dock, because the whole dock was just full of bags. They could barely walk. People were basically, they have to sort it when they pick it up, like children's clothes go in one bin, shoes go in another bin, furniture gets put something, I mean, they have to do something with it. They don't just throw everything into a dumpster. They do a pre-sort the best they can. And they literally, people were putting stuff up on the dock faster than they could move stuff off the dock. And there were 2 of them up there, and then a 3rd guy came out to help too. So I thank them, because I know that's, you know, they're just basically moving constant from the time they open up at 10 until 5 p.m. when they shut down the dock. They won't, their lunch break will be the only breath they take today. And you know, I appreciate they can't take donations every day because the inside people need more time, but it's making the poor guys at the dock have to probably work at a slightly faster pace than what they would typically have to work. So anyway, I let them know we appreciated their being out there. Wow, it's a really rough life when you get leftover Smithfields for lunch.
Yep.
This is the level 3 version of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, and I'm having trouble with the left hand, but I could do the right hand okay. Something like that. So one of the projects that's been on the list but forgotten on the list and recently re-added to the list is I really need a 4-foot sumo bot table. The competitions that we do, it's black with a white outer edge. Sometimes you see them white with a black outer edge, but I need black with a white outer edge. It's too bad this vinyl one, that's the right size, 48-inch diameter, is so darned expensive at $130. What are they thinking? Can they not make it any cheaper than that? So typically you would build these out of plywood. And I have one. Here's one. I have one, but it's 3 foot, and I really, our competition size is really 4 foot. So not today, but it's on the list. So Don whined about wanting to use his hydraulic table. Not really. So I moved my Lego stuff off, and I know exactly how to get it back on there. The stuff on bottom is in the front and on top is in the back. But then, of course, that meant that there was some glass stored here, so we moved that upstairs. And then that means, you know, really, I got to clean this part of the floor that didn't get cleaned when I cleaned the floor. So yeah, we're using the table, and that's led to a couple of other small things. I told him you whined about your hydraulic cart, and then I said, no, just kidding. The cushion's now supposed to be here Thursday.
Okay.
And it's pretty hot out there today.
Yeah.
The reason, well, Don's working on my flowers.
Among other things, yes.
While I am cleaning, and it's looking better, but he's going to sit me on the hydraulic cart, adjust the height, and get the height for the bench. So this is a part of the bench project.
Yeah, we're going to get my girl the perfect custom height for my sweetie's legs and hips and all that stuff. It's going to be the perfect height.
He just wanted to use his cart. Alright, that'll do. We'll be putting the stuff back. We won't be moving it for 5 years again, and we're good to go for now. Now, I know Don would have vacuumed, but he probably wouldn't have scrubbed.
That's correct.
Because we're just covering it back over. But I would know there was bug guts down there, so I had to scrub it.
Right.
Well, you're looking mighty excited about me sitting down. Pull it back towards the refrigerator just a smidge. Looking mighty excited about me sitting down.
Ooh, I bet that's cushy.
It's okay. I mean, yeah, I need Tux now. Where's Tux?
Right, and you need to tell me what's too high, too low, the whole purpose.
You're getting pretty high now.
I'm pretty high, a little high.
Well, here's Tux. This is still okay. I don't know, just per how many inches is it?
I don't.
Well, go get your measurement. How are we going to know how well you got to have a tool to measure?
Well, that's pretty smart on your part.
I mean, that was the whole point, was to get a number in inches, right?
That's correct. To get a measurement. All right. So that's 15 inches.
How high is the back step off the from the platform to the top of the step?
It's probably really close to 15 inches because it's
Because normally the other step is, you know, I've got my feet on the other step, which I don't have here, and then he's on the ground and I'm bending over. So here's like where the other, you know, step is. That's not bad. I mean, try 2 more inches and just see where it is. Because all I'm going to ever do is sit down on it and pet the cat. Or Gray might come up. That's pretty tall. That's getting to be like, this is like if I was just sitting on the bench and talking to somebody. This is about...
Yeah, that went up about 2.5 inches. Hang on a second. Let me go down a half inch. A little bit more. That's 17 inches.
I mean, I can still bend over and get him.
Well, let's do 16 inches.
And for me, my legs, this is a pretty good height for me, personally. I'm sure it's way too low for you.
This is for my kids.
Well, you're only going to sit down on it long enough to take your shoes off. It's not, with all the mosquitoes here in the sun, it's not like we're really going to sit out there.
That's 16 inches.
Okay. Well, if Tux were here...
Well, now you can have 15 inches. I mean, this is whatever It doesn't, you know, so if you want it a little lower, it's fine. Go back to 15 inches.
There's not a lot of, 17 was starting to feel too hot, plenty high. I'm not sure between 15 and 16 there's a big difference.
I guess you could debate that's 15 and a half. Count the height of a little bit of the cushion there.
I think try 16 again. I'm going to say 16 is enough to like just sit on it. And then my knees are pretty comfy.
All right, the top of the table is at 16.
Yeah, because then I can still lean forward and, you know, look at my legs as far as it's almost perpendicular.
All right, well let me sit there and see what I think.
Make sure you don't hate it.
Oh, I think this is fine. You're right. It's just from let's call it a park bench point of view, it's a little low. Like if this was a picnic table, this would be a little low, I think. But for sitting here, this is very comfortable. So
okay, so come here and lean the camera down enough so they can see me petting the pretend tux, because it's not pointing down quite enough. Just tilt it forward a little more. So there's the pretend tux, and that's pretty comfortable. My legs are spread wide enough. He's there over here.
okay. So
well, you know, the thing about not going too high too is that I do have my pretty flowers that are on the other side of the vents, and I don't want to obscure them, dwarf them, hide them. So it not being super duper high is kind of good to me for that perspective too.
I agree.
It's not going to block all the sun. It's not going to. So I think we're good. I think I like 16 inches.
16 inches.
And there, you've used your table.
Yeah, I'm thinking 16 inches.
Well, I didn't know I was going to lose my my pretty red Tesla colored table. Well, what do you mean I can't have it where it was anymore? So now this thing has evolved. And now look, I picked these up free, just like this, off the side of the road, with wheels and everything. There were like 6 of them, and all that white wood upstairs, that neighborhood across the street. Don said I was allowed to pick up plywood, just don't ever bring home any particle board.
No, I don't need particle.
Melamine might be okay if I could lift it. Probably have to get Don to come get it. But anyway, we have used the heck out of these things.
Right.
So Don's gonna put my Lego stuff back over here on one of those wheels, but he's got to cut it down a little bit. It's a little too big. Now, is that the last one we have?
No, we have one more.
Because I want the one more for this winter. There's going to be a cat tree here in front of the freezer, and the cat tree is going to get mounted to the other one. So I'm just warning you now, there's a cat tree coming.
Right. Yes,
and it's going to get mounted where we can just move it around, because in the winter I don't want them on the cement, and I want them up off. I want the cats like to climb, blah blah blah.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's coming. So save the other one for the cat tree. But other than that, we'll put, you know, if I put something down here, we need to be able to roll it out of our way when we're doing various things out here. So stuff on wheels is good.
Yes, honestly, I use that cart. It's you know, 600-pound lift table.
You haven't used it since I moved in.
You absconded with my table.
You had it for sheetrock. When it was you were you by yourself, before you had a me, and when JB wasn't visiting so regular. See, with me and JB visiting, you don't need that table even, but it's a great table for a single guy or a person embarking. You can, I'm still cleaning on it.
Yes, you keep cleaning.
But you can see the hydraulics down there. So yes, if you don't have one of these in your shop and you need to lift heavy stuff ever, which is probably most people, you need that table. Did we use it to move my dad's TV?
I've used it to move
TV, large old school TVs. Yeah.
Yes. 48 inches seems to work. The refrigerator door opens about like it used to. Let's see. I guess I like everything about it. It's a little stronger now. I put the wheels better spaced so that they support the weight, and I put a piece across the back like they have in the front to give a little bit of a torsion effect. So yeah, I think
all right, I'll put my stuff back on it.
Right.
Well, the hydraulic cart ended up over here for now, at least. And I got my Lego stuff back on top where it was, in the corner where it was on top of this rolling platform. You can see there's a couple of bins that don't have anything in them, but if we were on the regular season, they would really need to be opened up, and I was kind of out of room. So what this did for me is it's lower than the table. A, the platform is narrower, and B, it's not raised as high as the other platform. So I've gained 6 or 8 inches, and when I open up the rest of those bins, that's going to come in handy. So I think Don did me a favor giving me room for a few more bins over here.
Right, I did.
So I got this kit off of eBay. It is not a complete kit, and it said that it didn't have the instructions in with it. So I've gone to the official site with the instructions and downloaded the PDF and opened it up. And I'm going to open this up and see now what's in there. I told Nighttime she could have the little table. Nighttime! If she would let me have the countertop. That's a good girl. She goes, I just want to be by my mom. So I didn't say, but this is kit 7697 MT-51 Claw Tank Ambush. It's a kit from the last 5 to 10 years. I don't know exactly what year. Mars mission. It's not currently available in stores. I guess it fires some sort of pellets. That would be what this part is up here. I recognize it. When I was studying it, the parts, because she had good pictures, I really think most of what I need for the big vehicle is here, and all the specialty parts, and I shouldn't have any trouble if I'm missing a few here around the house locating them to get it put together. The bricks are clean, but there was a little bit of debris in with them, so I took the handheld vacuum cleaner and very carefully vacuumed stuff off. The person had said there's a few extra pieces in here from other kits, a few extra minifigures even. So I'm just going to have fun with it. It's not nice and neat and organized where there's stuff in various bags, and it looks like this thing originally had 4 bags. There's no bags here. It's just all these parts. So I got a storage bin lid as a tray, and let's just see what kind of progress I can make with it. Yeah, bag 1 is to build the Mars alien creeper sort of airplane. Bag 2 is the base of the Mars rover thing. Bag 3 is the part where it spins around. 4 is where the astronaut sits. So all of those parts go together. So I skipped the alien ship and I'm on to the actual Mars rover thing. I was almost done before I got started, but I was able to find this box piece which didn't come with the kit. I need to stop for a bit, but I've got this side done, and the next step is to do the other side, just like this side, only reflected, reversed. Alright, I'm back to do the other half. I've got the time lapse going now. You know, prior to now I was all over the place hunting parts, but I think I'm good to go for a little bit. I am making good progress. I gotta stop and take a break here to work on dinner again. The only thing going on that's not quite right at this point is this piece is not exactly the right piece, and I don't know, I don't think anything else attaches here. I have a bag that has some of these kind of pieces in it, so I will look to see. This is what was in the kit. I've had to go get a few pieces, these 2 orange vents, a couple of 2x10s or 2x8s in a gray, a couple of this white pieces here on both sides in the white color, but nothing major, and I've had all the parts I needed so far. Well, way cool. In my personal stash, I did have another one of these, so I'll swap it out now. I've got to get the bottom of this circle on the top of this circle, and it's not wanting to fit. I'm going to take a breath, step back, and then try again. We had the best pork loin and gravy for dinner. I am going to see if I can't finish building this guy. You know me, I don't like to stop in the middle of stuff. Wow, it's 10:30 at night and I just finished this thing up. I was able to come up with almost every piece that it required that was missing. Again, the auction said parts were missing. I need 6 blue platter things. These are all gray. They're supposed to be blue. I have 1 alien in the tube, but there's supposed to be a second tube, and I only have the 1. The shoulder joint here, you see how the gray is here, but here it points up. I had the right piece, but it was orientated wrong. It wasn't facing the right way. I'm tired. That's really probably not worth fixing. And over here, I need 1 more rocket base, which I probably will run across somewhere in my stuff, and I just don't know where it is right this minute. There are 5 discs in the firing tube, which is like inside of this thing. Here, let me just show you how to fire one of them, and then you'll see the disc. So there's supposed to be 8. There were 5 with the kit. That's fine. It's just for fun. It's a little bit different too. Most of the firing tubes I've seen with Lego have little tiny plastic marbles. This one had a ball. So, and yeah, this is not the right part here. It's supposed to be one that doesn't have pegs but is rounded. I don't know. I could probably, I don't know. I mean, it's fine, or I could switch it out with something else. If I don't do anything else to it, it's good. If I work on, oh, and over here, these are supposed to be so that the teeth are like a gripper, and they're also oriented. Probably the only thing that I really care about fixing is this. And of all of those little parts that I have, I just don't have the right part, and I went through them all. I had stuff spread out in the kitchen table and spread out on the sofa and on the floor in the family room and on Johnny's desk in the green room, and things spilled out of Ziploc bags. Thank goodness for all the parts. Thanks to Michelle mostly, and you know, I have the Mindstorms robot parts, of course. But that allowed me to put that together. Now I still have the alien ship to do. And I'm going to inventory if I have enough parts that it's even worth trying to put it together. I probably do, but I need to take a look at it, and not tonight. This was the only mail we had today. A new Lego Technique kit book. I'll have to flip through that and try not to get into trouble.